Welcome back to On the Prowl, guys. My name is Jay Chugstein, and today, instead of prowling, we're going to take a look at the vehicle I use to get to my prowling destinations. Everybody knows a good prowler needs a good vehicle that can handle mud, rain, tarmac, snow, and take a couple of hits in case an animal runs out. And that's why I went with the 1988 Buick Reatta. This bad boy is packing a V6 engine with 170 horsepower. And we're going to check out all the features that make this car special. Let's check it out, guys. I'm Jay Chugstein, and this is On the Prowl. Now, underneath the hood of the 1988 Buick Reatta, we have a lot of bells and whistles. Come on, let's check it out over here. As you can see, we've got the 3800 engine. Now that is packing a V6 with 170 horsepower. Over here we've got the battery. That's going to power my high-end sound system. I can also play bird calls, animal calls, draw them out of the woods using that sound system back there. Engine oil filler cap, very important to keep that locked on at all times. Over here we've got a custom intake. I made that myself, obviously. You'll also see that I've put some blue wire covers back there. That's going to keep dirt, dust, and grime out of my wiring. Every prowler knows bad wiring means you're gonna get stuck in the forest and stranded. Whew, man, do I love this thing. Let's look at some more features, huh? And we're gonna start with every prowler's most necessary tool of the trade when they're picking out a car, and that is the tire. Now, I've gone with the Solaris Starfires, and these bad boys are made for everything. They're run flat, so if you get a flat tire, well, hitting a porcupine or whatever you might find in the forest, they're not going to go flat on you. They're also great on sand. You can see I've been driving in sand today. No problem at all. We also got custom Buick Reatta rims. Now these bad boys are pricey. Look at that custom embossment. Now back here, we've got an electronic safety switch that controls the fuel cap. That's so nobody finds your car in the forest and starts stealing your gas. Check this out. Now back here, as you can see, we have 14 lights going across the back. They don't do anything. They're not even the brake lights. These are just letting people know you bought a Buick Reatta and you can afford the light bulbs. This is sweet. Now if you're in the forest, maybe there's a deer coming up behind you and they can't see your car, 14 lights is exactly what you want. I wouldn't settle for 12, I wouldn't settle for 10, not even 2. The average car doesn't have 14 light bulbs. The Buick Reatta does. Pretty cool, huh? Now that V6 engine comes back here to dual exhaust tips, and that's going to allow more flow coming out of the back. You do not want to breathe in what comes out of the back of a car. It's horribly, horribly poisonous. But the Buick Reatta, she's packing all sorts of power. Check out those exhaust tips. Now, inside the Buick Reatta, we have a plethora of crazy technology. This didn't exist for any other car company in 1988. We've got all sorts of stuff in here, a touch screen, we've got windshield wipers that are button activated with a slider. Let's start it up. I'm going to show you some of the cool stuff. Now obviously the first thing you're going to see is that we got a car phone, and that was a big deal for 1988. This came from the factory. If you selected the correct package, you got a working car phone and a cell phone in the trunk. You're also going to notice we've got something here called the CRT. This is advanced. My Mazda B3000 didn't have something like this. You can check in on your gauges. I've got 378 kilopascals of oil pressure, 13.6 volts on the battery, 775 RPMs on the engine. Check out the status here. We can do a diagnostic of the car if we want, check on the engine controls. Boom, it's gonna tell me my cruise control doesn't work for some reason. Go to the radio over here, and we can even eject our tape cassette down below. This thing is nuts. I can't say enough good things about the Reatta. I don't know why you don't have a Buick Reatta right now. Now, if you want to check out the wipers over here, we've got a slider for the wipers. You can slide that back and forth. We turn those bad boys on. There they go. And we can adjust the speed and the interval of the wipers by sliding and pushing. This thing is crazy. Now, I know you didn't go without noticing the shag ceiling I put in here. This is my alternative to air conditioning. See, the Buick Reatta had AC, but it took Freon. And too many people were huffing Freon, so they don't sell it anymore. So I had to go with a shag roof to keep my head cool in the summertime. This is just amazing. It's like someone sprayed a super soaker right up the top of your head. I love this shag roof, and the ladies love it too. Wow. Nothing like shag. Over here we got custom deck. I've put that in myself as well. If I want to listen to my Chugstein beats, just dial that up. We got all sorts of cool music. I play my theme song for the most part to get me fired up for some prowling. Over here we got power mirrors. Those don't work, mostly because they're almost 40 years old. We got power windows. Look at that behind me. That's pretty neat. Power windows for a car in the 80s. I wish I had that now. You're gonna notice we've also got an ashtray. In there we've got a lightning cable to charge my Chuggy phone. Sometimes I just play with the volume knob just because I like how it feels. You guys ever do that? I've also added in a knob for bass. I love knobs, obviously, and switches. This switch is going to control LED lights. Check that out for the phone. And we've also got a toggle switch so I can put the antenna up in the back. You never know when you're going to need to get an SOS out, and antenna length is very important. Don't let anyone tell you the size of your antenna doesn't matter, because it does. Now the Buick Reatta comes factory stock with 16-way adjustable seats. Check this out. You come down here, we got thigh, recline, and lumbar. Now every prowler needs good lumbar support. They also need to lean back every now and again when they're taking a nap. And thigh. Let's check out the thigh button. I don't really use that function. Now we also have lumbar, and that's inflatable. There's a pump in there that fills a bag. Check out the back of the seat right here. Fully inflated. That's great for your lower back. Now the Reatta has no airbags, and I'm okay with that. Airbags, they take more lives than they save, and you know it. So the Reatta, no airbag. You get in a crash, you're just gonna hit the horn with your head. The horn doesn't work, obviously. I don't like horns, but she does all right. I don't know. Now back here, there are no back seats, and I love it. That gave me more room for storage. We got 2 storage compartments. Keep all your valuables in there. If you live in Texas, maybe you keep a handgun in there. Close those up. I keep them empty because I have nothing to bring with me. And this little number right here is where I keep my JL 10-inch subwoofers. These bad boys are definitely gonna wake up the neighborhood, so I like to keep it down at night, but the ladies love them. Now the Buick Reatta has some pretty sweet doors. These are essentially leather. We've got a leather strap, black plastic, electronic door unlock buttons, and more seat adjustments. Can you believe it? Look at all these seat adjustments. I mean, we can tilt the seat if we want, forward and backwards, up and down. We got tilt. Obviously, that's where the tweeter goes. The tweeter's a little speaker, hits all the high notes. Door handle, windows. You know what a car consists of, but check out these seats. These are suede. Now, if there's one thing you want in the rain, it's suede. It stains instantly when water touches it. You open this door, water pours in on the seat. It's awesome. You get to see cool effects every time you get in the car. And you better believe this baby leaks. Center, we got leather. Seatbelt. This bad boy is safe. Safe as can be for the 80s, I'll tell you that much. Now, when the 1988 Buick Reatta came out, they only made 4,708 of them. This old girl right here is number 315. These guys sold for $25,000 American back in 1988. That's like $50,000 now. Crazy, right? And they made them by hand. They made a special factory, and these were handmade, handcrafted. There was a guy with those old 80s glasses on, sanding every last inch of this thing, checking for quality control, all of that. And this thing is still going. Buick knew what they were doing in the 80s. Now, some people don't know this about the Buick Reatta, but it is actually great for off-road. We're going back into a provincial park right now, and I don't bring my Honda, I bring my 1988 Buick. This thing tears through the sand, it's front-wheel drive, it's perfect for it. And as you can see out the window, we're just ripping through the forest right now, and this thing loves it. It's got great ground clearance, it's got pop-up headlights in case it gets dark out here and we get lost in the bush. And we're just ripping through here right now. I recommend, if I had the choice between a Jeep and a Buick Reatta, obviously I'd go for the Reatta. Lower center of balance, perfect for crawling. Springtime crawling especially. We got snow on the trail, we got mud, ice. This thing just eats it up, it loves the slop. Now you've got a 4-speed automatic transmission in here. That means this thing is equipped for all your off-roading needs and on road. So if you're on the road, this baby cruises, you're burning about 10 to 12 liters per 100 kilometers, which is great for a V6 from 1988. On the trails, kick her into a lower gear, you got yourself a rock crawler. Love this thing.